Dexter plays Kenshi from LoFi Games.
Welcome back to Kenshi. We are going to be heading back out here again. I'm going to hammer on this thing for a little while. A couple things I want to talk about now while we're doing that. Thank you for coming back. At the moment, I really just want to establish some decent cash, maybe set up a little home here. And that means I'm buying one of these buildings in here so that I can set up maybe a small research base and maybe some beds, just so I can rest. Now I could try to grab one of these larger buildings, which could be interesting, like maybe this one here, this one over here. These are 12,000. This one here is like 1,000. So I could grab that, but it's a little bit too small. And what I'm thinking about is just having a place that I can always come to whenever I want to. Who are these people here? More hungry bandits? Okay. Got to keep an eye on them. But yeah, oh no! What? Here we go. Look, it's hungry bandits. Look, guess what? Do I have any food? Do I have food? I think I have some food. Do you want some? No, you're not gonna leave me alone. All right. Yeah, so I want to do that. I want to gather enough cash that I can purchase one of these buildings. There is no ongoing maintenance cost once you purchase one of those things, so having some place to crash in each of the towns is a viable thing to do. It will at least allow you to be able to rest. So you can see, for example, if I click on me, you remember all the damage I took before, and my chest now is slowly healing, my blood's come back up, and that's just natural healing that you will get over time. You can also speed that up by about, I think, 4 times. Come back here. If you hit if you have a bed, so if you lay down on a bed, you can do that. In fact, if I look up here, I think in here, yeah, see, there's a bed. So if I click on that, it says town the hub, cost to use, so 0. So I can go there and I get 4 times the healing bonus. In addition to that, I could probably come around over here somewhere. I think, yeah, is this one I can buy? Yeah, so I could pay 50 credits to sleep in this bed, and it gives me 8 times healing bonus. So you can see there's ways to get your health back up again after you've been hurt. And so one of the things I want to focus on in the early parts of this game is bringing up my different skills. So you can see my laboring skills coming up, which is good. It means I can do things like mine faster. A few of the other typical laboring things like working on mills, and some of the technology that we research all uses labor. There is another thing about this area. So you can see like green stuff and like that. Well, what if I wanted to create a base? Where would be a good place to create a base? Well, you might want to look for a nice flat area to build in. There's a flat area over there-ish that might be worthwhile. There's some spots down here. I think one of the first times I ever played a game, I created a base right in here. There's some stuff here. You see different colors. And that leads me to talk about, well, what do I need in a base? Well, one of the best things to look at is the prospect. So if I click prospect here, bing, it'll tell me some stuff about the area that I'm in. So here I'm in a zone called the border zone. Each of these areas has a name, which comes with some attributes associated with it. It gives you an altitude. It tells you how big of an area size that I'm prospecting. Because of my low skill, I don't get a whole lot. But it does tell me in this environment it's both a little bit of green, it's 10% green, 100% arid, and that has an impact on growing food. So if I want to grow food here in a primarily arid environment, I'm growing things like wheat and a cactus, but not a whole lot of else. I need some green to be able to grow things like cotton and vegetables. Both of those, hemp, might be important. There's things like that I might want to grow for purposes of stuff. So wherever I go, I probably want something that has some green in it, maybe some arid, but also I need to see water. This is curious. Why? Let me do this again. Yeah, it's blocking out my my screen a little bit. So here underwater, this is saying this is the area where I'm going to find some water. This is the fertility area. Ooh, that's pretty bright. Here's where I can find some stone. So if I tried to get stone from this area, it wouldn't be very good. Iron, This is telling me there's some iron spots nearby and there's some copper spots nearby. And all of this stuff is very gross at the moment, and it's primarily because my prospecting skill, which is associated with my science, sucks. Now here's a question. Let's take a look at science. There's science. 20% prospect. Prospect. Prospect? Nope. I don't get any skill for that. Alright, I was curious. Yeah, doing their thing there. How are we doing? Oh, it's full. Let's get back in there. Keep working. Actually, I should just go sell this. It's at night. So we'll go up here and we'll sell. How am I doing? I'm at 240,000 or 24,000 cats. And we'll go take a look at one of these bigger buildings and see what's my target. 3,500. No, so it was 1,000. A 1,000 trip. Let's go in here and see what this is worth. 10 grand. It's a nice big place in here. 12 grand. All right. Well, this isn't out of the range of possibilities. It's not like I'm trying to, earn $5 a day and I need to buy a $30,000 car. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. Where's my resource? There we go. Go. I'm going to continue to mine this. And I'm going to buy that one thing. Oh, I see there's some people's up there. Who's up there? Is that the... Oh, is that that one house? No, that's not the one place. That's over here, right? Yeah. There's somebody up there. I can see lights. Dust Bandit. Oh, it's a Dust Bandit camp. Okay. What do we got here? Nomads. You really need to keep an eye out. And sometimes if you're watching, especially at night, you'll see like lights where the people are carrying torches. You can also see sometimes when they walk, little cloud trail behind them. So that sometimes will give you a hint that there's something moving. What's that? Bone dog. He's not hungry. He won't be a problem. Alright, well I'm going to do this for a little bit. And I'll be back. Well, welcome back. It's been like a few days. I've been attacked a couple of times. I got knocked out once. Been somewhat eventful, but I've been using my place over here to get out of here and make it back to my reservation, if you will. I've got a couple things going on here. Let's go ahead and finish this thing up. There we go. I'll take all 4 of them. Thank you. We're going to go up here and do the final sale. You can kind of see that I'm at 13,000 cats. This is probably my... I don't know, 4th run on copper, but I've also been doing some stuff where I've grabbed leftovers from battles and sell that stuff off too. Let's sell this off. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and buy something, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. So let's do that. I'm going to go over here. I want this big building here. I want a lot of room to work with where I'm at here. And what I have done is I've already built a campfire, but let me go ahead and dismantle this really quickly and show you the building routine. So, when I build, I can build from here. I can do like camping. I can do a campfire, place that down, no problem. Material cost nothing, and confirm. Boom, done. And when Dex gets over here, one of the things he's going to do is, you remember I had meat on me? Well, he just threw that all in the campfire, and he's creating dried meat. So I can keep myself pretty well fed by just grabbing leftovers, if you will, out in the wild. Let's go ahead and grab all that off. I'm going to dismantle that again just to be done with it. And let's go ahead and buy this building, shall we? It's 12 grand, open for the public to sell. Give it to me. I'll thank you. My building. That means everybody out. Go. Go, go, go. Now, the only thing I don't like is the fact that I can't fix this place so that all this rubble's gone. I'd love to be able to be prompted at this point to do a regular build, which is when you build a shack, like for example, if I come in here and say, hey, look, I want to build a building. The only thing I do is a small shack at the moment. But if I went out here and said, let's see, you can see this red, And blue means I'm too close to a town. But if you look at this, I think if I switch this around and go over here, there we go, green. So I can actually build all the way out to here. Now if I did that, it's going to take me 5 materials to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm not building out there. There's a few reasons for not building out in the wild. If you build out in the wild, it'll mark you as a town, and everybody starts to come to raid you and play with you, and it's just no fun. But I got a building now, so again, I can throw my campfire in here, and I think I will put my campfire like right there. There we go. As far as the exterior goes, I could do a prisoner pole if I wanted to. I can't put it outside here. I can only build inside the house because this is the town. I can only build in my house. There's farming. I can't do any kind of farming here. You can see this. See? I can't build a vegetable farm out here anywhere. Lights. I could do a torch in here. It cost me a building material to do this. Crude light source, don't need it. Mining, create a stone mine, can't do that in here. Processor, can't do the processor. So those are all base things. But I can build a research bench. And I'm going to do that. Okay, and that's going to take 3 building material. Okay, confirm. There's my thing there. Now I need some building material. And in fact, if I remember right, this guy over here had building material. And I still have some money left, right? I do. Hey, dude, you got some build? Ooh, 1, 2, don't have 3. So let's go over here and start working on that. I added my materials. So if I click on it, you can see the construction and progress I'm making. Coming along quite nicely. All right. Then we head over here. Talk to this guy again. Let's do business. Give me 1 more of those. Thanks. And in fact, let me see. You've got books. Give me your 2 books. I'm going to be using those in a second. All right. So now I've got myself a research bench. I can also try to build a bed in here. And we'll see that for a second. So if I go here, all I have is a shack. I could do a campfire bed like the thing you saw before, but that takes a sleeping bag. I don't have one of those. Building a sleeping bag takes a while. What I can also do is I can open this thing up. There's my research bench. I'm going to drop in my 2 research books. Show research. Here's the research environment. So I can go through, and now you can see some of the stuff is free. There's like nothing I need to take. So like gear storage, item storage, public sales, don't take any particular requirements. Here's something. Small house takes 2 books. Crafting, nothing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to queue up anything that doesn't take any books. Indoor lighting, does it take a book? It does. Farming, cooking, book. Industry, iron plate takes a book. No book. No book. No book. Book. All right. So now I've got a few things that I'm beginning to construct here. And what I'm going to do is when I click on that, there you go. See, I'm researching, and you can see what I'm currently researching. And that it's going up. Now, I'm doing this research for a couple of reasons. One, I want to be able to start building out my tech tree a little bit of things I could do. Like, it'd be nice to be able to put some general storage in here so that I can dump stuff off. Like, for example, I've got an awful lot of meat. It'd be nice to drop some meat off in here. The other thing I want to do it for is when I go into stand now, if I look under science now, notice that my science research is going up. Okay. Negatively affects visible muscle definition. So the smarter I get, the less muscle I have. So some of your skills will affect your build. One of the other things that this does is helps my prospecting. You saw earlier just how bad my prospecting was. So we're doing this so we can get a little bit better on the prospecting. So why don't I speed this up a little bit so you can see this stuff come through. Gear storage is done. Item storage next. Okay, so we finished doing that research, so let's go back and take a look and see. I can do some clothing manufacturing. Let's pause for a second so I don't have time go by. This will allow me to create a clothing bench and build out some items, which I really don't need. The iron plates, which I'm not doing yet. Cooking. Really don't have I don't have anything to cook. Indoor lighting gives me a fan, electric. That don't need that. Don't need that. I need 6 things here in the bench. I have 1. So I could go for the next thing. So I need to get more some more money. I also need to go over here and get more books. Let's see if he's got some more books. Hey, buddy. You got some books? You got a book. I'll take your book. He's got some green fruit too. That's not too bad. But yeah, we'll come over here. And actually, you know what? Hey, I'll talk to you about one more of those. There, thanks. Because if I'm not mistaken, building some storage is going to cost me. So let's go over here now. Look in building. Under storage, I've got a whole bunch of things now I can build out for storage. And I got something here just called general storage boxes. That's just like, put a bunch of stuff in the box. I'll put it right back in here. There we go. Confirm. You come over here. Fix this. Build up that storage box, would you? While he's doing that, I can still transfer stuff. You notice I didn't get any kind of an impact there. Excellent. So now I can drop stuff in there if I want to. Boom, boom, and boom. There, I got some food in there. Now let's take a look at one more thing here. I want to take a look at some of these things here as far as the last pieces to read. So, The Pacifier, Guidance for a Troublemaker. It's a unique book. Oh boy, did I get myself in a mess. First off, I spit my veggie bowls on Noble Yaganashi's robes, managed to hightail it across the sands all the way to Stack with a trail of angry samurai on my back. Then I only go and speak to the high priest before being spoken to, and boy was he not happy with me. I tried to hightail it out of Stack at that point, but tore my rags on the Phoenix statue and bore my heinous udders for all to see. Honestly, at this point, I was pretty irritated at having my sweet green fruits referred to as udders, so I stuck him the middle finger and yelled every curse word under the sun. I got thrown in a prisoner cage and conveniently broke out by a fellow ninja inmate 2 weeks later. But how could I live easy with 2 of the most powerful world factions hating my gut, you ask? Well, I did what I do whenever I need something fixed. I paid a guy in a bar to make my problems go away. Anyway, what's my point is that this long-winded story, my point, friend, is that no matter what kind of bad day you're having, all problems can be solved with money. Otherwise, you're pretty screwed. So here it is, a directory I've compiled for all the faction pacifiers and their locations for when you're having the particularly bad day or week. The Holy Nation is in Snark, the Traders Guild's in Blister Hill, Shek Kingdoms in World's End, United Cities in Lagoon, Slave Traders in Stout, Hounds in Hub, Floatsomes in Swin, and Anti-Slaver is in Mudtown. Good luck, Troublemaker. So there's a couple of things here to note. One, we got people who will fix our factions with, well, where am I here? We got people who will fix the faction for us. So if I get somebody pissed off at me, I can go pay money and make them not so mad at me. But there's another thing here that you may not have noticed. In the story, he talks about what he did. And there's a couple of things. So you don't want to go talk to the high priest before being talked to. That will impact your faction. So reading these things can help. There's also these things. This book is a Wanted Ellis. He's a Greenlander, male, eyewitness trip and fast of bug house, public nuisance, wanting an account of multiple bar thefts. So if I can find Ellis, I can bring him in for a bounty. And also the Voodoo Brothers, who are a pair of skeletons, Screamer and Ponk, a pair of highly intelligent and sadistic con artists wanted for gross malfeasance as medical and ancient voodoo practitioners in various cities across the land. I don't need to keep these anymore, so I'm going to throw them over here so I can save some space. And so we've got ourselves a little base. The next thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to see if I can maybe get a campfire going. Not a campfire, a camp bed going so I can sleep in it for times when I am kind of hurt, but I'm okay now. So, what next? Come back and find out. Take care. Bye-bye.
Creeping through the shadows in the corners of your mind. I go where the wind blows. I run but I don't hide. I hear the call of the wild, whispering the name. No, I can't be tamed. My heart belongs to the night. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. 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 I'm a